Yo, it's Trivelli. I'm back, and after a successful week 0 and week 1 of college football betting, I'm going to be giving you my week 2, the best college football lines. I'll give you 4 games this week that you guys can smash for easy cash. Now, if you can, please like, comment, and subscribe. We need to get this channel out to as many people as possible. I'm trying to put some money in your pockets. And as always, please follow me on Instagram and Twitter so you get my daily notifications for when I'm dropping videos, which is going to be Monday through Friday because I'm never slacking. Now, let's jump into the action.
I'm living life like this. Maybe give a little glimpse, maybe give a little glimpse.
3-1 week 0, 3-1 week 1. We're 6-2 against the spread, which means if you would have been betting with Trivelli Sports Daily this whole time, you're up $6,000 if you bet $1,000 per game. 75% win rate. Let's go. Now, enough of the bragging. I'm just letting you know, my initials are AST. You can't bet against the spread unless you bet with me. I'm also a rapper. That's why we got the wordplay. Now that we got that out of the way, let me tell you guys, if you want to click to a specific game in this video, I got the timestamps for you, but let's just jump right into the action. The first line we're attacking this week is going to be Coastal Carolina versus Kansas, where they are 25.5 favorites at home, and I would like to take Coastal Carolina plus the points. I think that they can absolutely demolish this 25.5 point spread if they choose to. The main thing that you're looking for here is for Coastal Carolina not to put in the backups. Even though Bryce Carpenter was 2 for 2, 54 yards and a touchdown, we want to keep Grayson McCall in this game as long as possible because that's the guy that's throwing 84% completion rating, and I think that this guy can absolutely move the ball versus Kansas, who was barely able to beat South Dakota at home. So pretty much that's all you have to know about this. Shermani Jones for Coastal Carolina, 9 attempts for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Their backup getting the job done as well, Jesse White, 7 attempts for 62 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think these guys can honestly run all over Kansas. They can also do RPO with Grayson McCall. This guy can just light them up from any area, and I think this is an easy 25.5 point smash if Coastal Carolina shows up, plays great in front of their home crowd once again, and is able to keep their starters in the game past halftime. The main thing that you're worried about is, they go up 28, put some backups in, and then Kansas beats the spread barely on the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers backups. But that's all I got for the first game. Let's go to our next game. We've got the Florida Gators playing at USF, where they were slightly not able to cover the spread versus FAU. They were 24.5 or 23.5 point favorites, and they only won by 21. But I'll tell you why this week is going to be different. FAU, much more talent than USF, actually. So I know that Conference USA and American are nowhere close in talent gap. AAC is going to win that every time, but USF is at the bottom of that AAC roster, where I see them obviously getting absolutely decimated by North Carolina State on the road, where they, lost 45-0. But that's not really the big point here. The main concern for me with this spread, where Florida is a 28-point favorite, and I would like to take Florida with the points. I think the problem with taking Florida here simply lies in Anthony Richardson sitting on the bench. Emory Jones had 2 turnovers versus FAU in forms of interception. Also, mismanaged a 4th down where the play calling must have been messed up, but you just ran into a brick wall in FAU's defense, and that was a turnover. So Emory Jones really didn't move the ball well versus FAU. Anthony Richardson was the far superior quarterback in my opinion, but Mullen is still going to stick with Emory, and you're going to get sprinkles of Anthony Richardson. So the goal here for the Gators is to make this game out of reach by halftime, be up 28 or 21-0, get Richardson in the game as soon as possible, and this guy will decimate the USF defense. Take Florida 28. I think they can get it done. Like I said, the only way they get robbed of this spread is if Emory Jones plays like garbage, which he definitely could. So if he does, hopefully they put Richardson, and either way you should cover. All right, next up we've got Michigan, who's only 6.5 favorites over Washington, who was just defeated by the Montana Grizzlies, obviously an FCS school there. I think Michigan showed a lot of poise in their first game versus Western Michigan. Obviously with the rout of 47-14, they looked good on both sides of the ball. Cade McNamara looked very good. Blake Corum looked very good rushing the ball, and unfortunately Ronnie Bell was lost for the season, but they're not going to need them versus Washington. I'm telling you guys, this should be a smash. 6.5 point spread for Michigan at home, where they will have a sold out crowd waiting for these Washington Huskies that underperformed in week 1. I do believe that not only is Michigan the better team talent wise, but I think that they showed up and played a more cohesive game week 1 versus a better opponent. So if they can continue continue that into week 2, I definitely like Michigan minus 6.5. I think that this could easily be a 14 or 21 point victory for them. And now we are going to move on finally to FAU versus Georgia Southern, where FAU is only a 7-point favorite. They played last year. FAU lost 20-3, but if you watch that game with FAU's awful quarterback play, 4 turnovers in that game, they only lost by 17, and they were in the ball game in the fourth quarter. So taking all that into account, FAU being on the road in that game with all the COVID issues and all that stuff, FAU played a very good game versus Florida, in my opinion. If you take away some of the mistakes and turnovers, they were able to, move the ball past the 50-yard line, I think 7 on 7 drives. Versus Georgia Southern, that should be every drive. I think FAU is going to be able to run all over Georgia Southern with the transfer forward, giving tons of speed to FAU. Malcolm Davidson also had over 5 yards of carry versus Florida. N'Kosi Perry looked incredible. I think he's going to dice them up as well. So really, with this FAU Georgia Southern game, just know that Georgia Southern runs the wishbone. If FAU can get a couple stops on defense early in this game at home with a raucous crowd, I think this should be no problem. FAU should be able to win this game anywhere between 31-14, and this could be a blowout, honestly. So I am taking FAU minus 7 versus Georgia Southern, and those are my lines, guys. So again, I have Coastal Carolina versus Kansas minus 25.5. I've got UF versus USF, UF being minus 28, take them. FAU minus 7 versus Georgia Southern, and Michigan minus 6.5 versus Washington at home. And I think that this is going to be a good game at the end of the day, but Michigan should handle their business, win by at least 14. So those are my spreads. I hope we go 3-1 or better again this week, guys. Let's keep this 75% win rate up, and I will see you guys later. Have a great day. Peace.
I'm living life like this. Maybe give a little glimpse, maybe give a little glimpse.